Hi there, welcome to our weekly bulletin of Nifty. This is the first week of January. Mostly, what we'll be covering in this is what happened in Nifty and what to anticipate. This being the first one, it would be fairly simple and straightforward, but we'll build on it. Primarily, we'll be covering quarterly results, the most important news that happened in the financial world, and the numbers. Now, in terms of where Nifty stood during the week, it was a fairly range bound or very stable week, I would say. And from a week on week perspective, we are just down by minus 0.14%. And even the volatility wise, if you look at it, there's not much movement that happened during the week, hardly 1 or 1.5% of movement. And the current P of Nifty is around 23, which when we did the annual analysis, which we published, was that most of the times the average PE for Nifty has been around 21. Of course, in the worst years, it has been around 13 or 14. And in some of the best years, for that matter, we're in the euphoria, not from a perspective of the actual pricing, from a valuation perspective, it has gone up to 30. So we're trading slightly in the above fair value kind of a zone if we just think that the average is the perfect way to look at the PE valuations. And currently, it just started with the quarterly results, the first one being DMart, which is not very encouraging. We haven't for any other company which we are tracking at this point in time. We have already published for DMart for this week. You can check that video. Now, in terms of the sector perspective, the top sectors were realty and pharma, and the worst performing sectors during the week were IT and metal. Now, if you go with absolute numbers, then from a sector perspective, of course, realty from the large cap perspective had around 7.34 of a run up, which is significant, I would say. And then followed by pharma and energy, all of them giving 2 or above than more than 2%. The sector which didn't perform very well is obviously IT, and there's a lot of uncertainty in this sector because the fact is that yes, there is lot of euphoria in terms of the AI, but from an Indian IT services company, what it means has to be really figured out, because a lot of work that was being done by Indian IT services company will definitely go through a change, and if we are able to retrain our talent, then things will start working in our favor. So that's what we are seeing over here, although the markets abroad are doing better, or at least the product companies are doing better. And in this week, although all the FAANG companies also dropped, so the metals were the another one which took the hit. So that's on the sector wise in terms of the large caps. Now we also tracked Nifty next 50 and a few more stocks in that zone. And what we saw, apart from the fact that realty being there, another area that really did well from this segment is the tourism and travel sector, and of course financial also. When we look at some of the mid-sized companies and including the NBFCs and all, it has done reasonably well during this week. And the sector which obviously didn't perform was IT in terms of from the large caps, but when we look at it including the mid cap, it's not that bad. It's at minus 0.84%. Textile and fertilizers being the worst one in this sector. So that's at a very high level how the sectors are performing now. In the coming week, we have to see whether reality continues the boom, but we are expecting more action to happen in the tourism and travel space. So that was a weekly wrap up. In the coming week, we will be seeing a lot of quarterly reports, and we will be doing the analysis for that. If you haven't checked out the analysis for DMart, the video is there, you should check it out. I'll see you in the next one, wherein we'll cover the weekly bulletin in much more detail. Bye for now.